Forget about Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Monaco or Singapore. This is the richest country in the world according to the gross domestic product per capita. Welcome to Luxembourg. This country has much more to offer than cheap gasoline, cheap coffee, cheap cigarettes, cheap alcohol. But well, in general, it's quite expensive. So let's find out. So why the Germans are coming to Luxembourg? Mainly to fill up the gas. It's 10% cheaper, more or less. So let's see. It works. So we parked our car and walking now to the city center. As you can see, it's a bit cloudy and also raining, because Luxembourg is one of the countries with the least sunny days. Yeah, the fewest sunny days of the year. On average only 61, and today is no exception. As you can see, at least the rain stopped a bit before it was worse. And now you can see here the people, the little markets. It's very interesting. They have a mix of French and German. They also do have our own language, which is called Luxembourgish. It's like a dialect of German, but people don't want to hear that. Yeah, so you have to say it's their own language. So therefore Luxembourg is a country with their own language, Luxembourgish. But people, it's almost like German. You can understand most of what they're saying. Yeah. So Luxembourg is also a very multicultural country, from people from all over the world. See, all colors, all languages. People usually come here to work, because here they have high salaries. It's like in Switzerland. But don't call it small Switzerland. You can see the prices here. The menu, 11 euro for the Mac plant. It is very expensive. Wow. So now we are basically on the separation point of the old town and the other part of the old town. So there's one side, and then we are walking on this bridge, and there's the other side of the old town. And below you have like this little gap. Over there is a train track, very beautiful as well. The houses here, it's just a construction zone right now, but they're making it pretty. I think it's going to be a park. So in a few years it might be very beautiful. There's a river as well in the valley. Over there you can see the train coming over the bridge, and there are the beautiful churches. So as you can see, Luxembourg has much more to offer than just cheap gasoline, cheap coffee, cheap alcohol and cheap cigarettes. That's why most people come here, but no, you can also be a tourist in this country, as we are today. So here we are in the old town, and you can see already some maps with information about the city. I mean, this country used to be much bigger, but now it became a bit smaller because of many wars in the past. But you can see this castle is already over 1,000 years old, and the old town as well. And it's nice to have it in 4 languages, including here the circular path. You can walk on the city. Interesting, the Holy Ghost tattoo. Beautiful, as you can see here, this church, gigantic twin tower, triple tower church, with a very fancy artistic sculpture in front of it. And yeah, I think Luxembourg, especially the city, is mainly interesting because of the architecture. And here you also can find some information about the monument, and everything in English. Excellent. And it has something to do with Israel, Hebrew. I think it was a Jew. You can read it. And here on this side is it in French, and also in French. So we also heard Spanish over there, so really every language you can see. But it's the rain, it's too rainy here, so we are going into the church, not to pray, but to take cover from the rain. So it was very interesting sculptures here, outside of the church. Very beautiful, the history. Yes, let's go inside and have a look. It is a very beautiful church here. So now we're in the pedestrian zone. You can see the Luxembourgish flag, the Ukrainian flag and the European flag, and it's very interesting, they have these soldiers as well. And this weather, very difficult. So right now we're here in the tourist shop, and you can see what is typical for Luxembourg. Yeah, Die Kirche, as the beer as well. Yeah, Vianden, the old town. Yeah, Echternach, which we would like to visit. The bridge where we've just been, although the river here looks a bit bigger. And they have a bear apparently from Luxembourg. Yeah, doesn't make sound? No. So, they also have these little things to play. Oh, this doesn't work. Oh, this side. And of course cigarettes, because it's much cheaper in Germany. You can see a pack is €4. So here you can see the national beer, Die Kirche. By the way, there was a palace before, we just saw, with the guards. One of the main attractions. So the perfect souvenir, an umbrella, because it's raining so much here in Luxembourg. Not just today, but all year round. Oh, an all English bookstore. You can find all the English books. It's nice. So you can see, because Luxembourg is so multicultural, so multilingual, that everybody speaks English here. Unfortunately, this is one of the main plazas, but it's under construction right now. So you can't see it. You're walking on the side a little bit. A little street tour. You also love to travel. This is the old town here. But again, not the best day to visit. You should visit it on one of the 61 sunny days in the year. And I think with the global warming, this number is increasing. It's probably good for Luxembourg, but they are still one of the most environmental friendly countries, even though it's not good for them. So here we also have a small art gallery, which is free. Very strange art pieces they have. And I have not much idea about it. It's always interesting to see. I think art just has to be as weird as possible. So this art is by David Lynch. Paula knows David Lynch. Who is David Lynch? Paula.
Well, a filmmaker.
Yes.
A writer as well. I know too much about him, but I really love his works.
Uh-huh.
The series, his films.
The series, the films, but did you also know the art pieces?
Yeah, well, they're kind of related to his aesthetic.
Uh-huh. Like here, violence. You see there's a gun. Or is it not a gun? It's like a little dwarf, as you can see. Or gun. Dwarf, gun. Yeah, both. So a little alley back to the main square, which is under construction. It's a beautiful church. And here's a tourist office. Let's see what they can tell us about Luxembourg. So let's have a look. Ah, yeah. Visit Luxembourg, UNESCO World Heritage. Is he Canadian? Oh, they're Canadian guests as well.
In Canada we have many what was the other one? There was something about the brethren. The Abbey, the brethren, the Benedictine.
Thieves. Yeah, but don't allow strangers to hug you, to touch or hug you. Very interesting.
And there's one here too.
Yes, but they actually say Luxembourg is one of the safest countries in the world. Bonjour. Can we ask what is the main attraction of Luxembourg?
the main
Yes.
well, the casemates.
What is it?
The fortress.
The fortress. Okay, and
I show you. Which country are you from?
Germany and Colombia. English is better because yes.
It's good. So we are now here. If
Yes.
you walk straight ahead this way, you will come to the Grand Ducal Palace, and behind the palace over here, that's the old town.
Ah,
And
yes.
if you walk along the Chemin de la Corniche, that's also called the most beautiful balcony of Europe.
Oh.
You have beautiful views, and you have a view on the fortress wall.
Oh, okay.
That's where Luxembourg was founded at the time.
I see. Wow, this is the main attraction basically of the center here.
Yes.
Okay.
It's also part of the UNESCO World Heritage.
Okay, very nice. You also speak French? Sprechen Sie auch Deutsch?
Ja,
Ach, Deutsch, Französisch, Englisch und Luxemburgisch. Luxembourgish, oh, very nice. So Luxembourgish is the main language of the country?
It's our mother language, and then in school we learn German, French, English,
Yes.
and after that it depends on what school you are.
Okay.
You learn Spanish or Italian.
Wow, so people are very multilingual.
Yes.
Lots of polyglots in Luxembourg. Yeah, it's very nice. Sehr interessant. We're not going to visit the museum today, but it's nice to see that they have it. So here's another souvenir shop. Oh yeah, very beautiful here. This is what the lady said, it's the most beautiful balcony of Europe. You can see the bridge over there, the alley. There's a way to hike. Must be great if the weather is good. Let's have a look at this famous bridge. I think this is the most famous bridge, not the one we crossed. This one, yeah. Wow, beautiful, it's like a fortress bridge. You see below, very pretty. The church and the view on the alley and the river. Yes, you have to go some further. So now this is the most beautiful balcony of Europe. Again, as the landlady said, as the lady from the tourist information said, and it's also a loft bridge, as you can see here. But we are just walking and enjoying, wow, this beautiful view. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Look at this. So we should come back on a sunny day. It's also not too far away from our home, Düsseldorf. Less than 3 hours by car. So maybe we can visit again when there's a festival and beautiful weather in the future. So let's find out the price in the supermarket. Everything is very fresh and cheap. Well, let's see. So you can see the prices here are a little bit high. Yeah, €7 per kilo for this thing. €2 for this? What is this? Oof, I've never seen that. Wow. So let's see what else they have. Hummus. Well, similar like in France. Even with promotion in France is also €1.50 the cheapest, usually €2, sometimes €2.30. So avocado. It's a big one for €1.60. That's not bad. But I personally love this blue cheese here. €2.30. These are good prices, €3. Just like in France. Wonderful. And here you see this is very expensive, this cheese, smally, €6.60. Crazy. Oh, this cheese, it's so tasty. Let's chips, Luxembourgish chips. The bread here, you see, €4 for the entire bread. It's not too bad. €2 for baguette. Just slightly higher the price, but not extreme. Not like Switzerland. So Luxembourg doesn't have many tourist attractions. Therefore, you're going to see one of the extraordinary tourist attractions, which is a special graveyard, a so-called military graveyard. This is the graveyard of the German soldiers that have been fallen here in Luxembourg. Over 60,000, it says on Wikipedia. And it was the last big offense of the German soldiers here in Luxembourg against the Allies in the winter before the end of the war. Very sad, if you can see here how many people really died. It's hard to believe, and this is just a fraction. This is 10% of the fallen soldiers, because here are only 6,000 graves and there have been 60,000 dead, just German soldiers, in this cruel battle of the Bulge, they call it. Very sad, but very touching also to see and interesting. I think the weather also is very suitable right now. Very sad how young the people were here. So this guy 29 only, this guy was, you always calculate, 18, yeah? 18 years old, very sad. 19 years old. It's also very nice to walk on this soft ground, huh? It's very strange feeling, the ground is very soft. Yeah, so you probably could dig out the corpses easily. So that's also an American graveyard, which you can see tomorrow, because today Paula has classes. You see some of them that died in December, just shortly before Christmas. It must be very sad for the families. And some died later. So the entire battle lasted for 6 weeks, I think. And the Germans lost. As you can see, most of them are also for more people. So here are 2, and on the other side are 2 other people. So 4 in total, just on this tombstone. So as you can see in total, there are many more than the tombstones you can see. And in fact, these tombstones don't represent all fallen soldiers. Let's have a quick last peek from the top. Here's also a monument. 810 remain unknown. Here is a summary of all the names. See a beautiful map of Luxembourg. It's all the castles. Here the capital, and we are here in the Zandweiler, that's the name. And here's a list of the graves you can find where the soldiers are. Yeah, it's quite an extraordinary tourist attraction, but still quite interesting.
Gëtt weiter grös Protestaktionen haut ganz Frankreich in anderem zu Paris. Hunderttausende Manifestanten wehren sich weiter gegen Pensionsreform. Vu Paris goufen am der Mitte noch schon eng Reihe Auseinandersetzungen gemeldet. Riels as auch vu Blesséierten op Seiten vun den Forstölordre. Am ganze Land wären fir der vun haut 370 verschiedene Aktionen geplant.
So now we're going to our Airbnb, 40 euro per night, $45. Let's see how it is. Luxembourg is not cheap. Ah, du hast geschrieben. Sorry, I haven't seen the message.
Oh,
that's
no,
why we were all visiting. We were busy.
It's fine, it's fine.
Okay,
Is it a place for the course?
So this is our room. So that's my workplace. Editing videos. We slept very nice. So here this is the bathroom. Small but fine. So it's basically the cheapest place we found in entire Luxembourg. Yeah. Very beautiful architecture here. Oh, I thought Luxembourg was one of the safest countries. Not on the parking spot here at the American Cemetery. So yes, right now we're here at the American Cemetery. After yesterday we saw the German one. Now we want to see have a quick look at how they organize the American ones. And it's also an interesting sight to see the field. So interesting also here to see about the Jewish faith. Okay, Genocide Awareness Month. So let's have a look what they have here in this small visitor center. Oh, a nice seating area. Even another tourist. Here very nicely explained the card, how it happened here in Luxembourg, over there. German Andernach, Neuwied, Limburg, it's Holland. Mannheim, how everything have happened. So and here we are in Luxembourg. As you can see here, it is gigantic, this graveyard. It's very huge. Hard to believe what has happened here. I'm not sure here that some of them have a star and some of a cross. I don't see any pattern here. Maybe because they were Jewish fighters. Ah yes, and they do have names, as you can see. Where they're from, Florida. And the day they died, July. So they must have died from the wounds, because at this time the war was already over. The security man even has a gun on the graveyard. High protection. So here you can see how they came from the UK over Normandy, the D-Day, and then they went over all of Europe almost, yeah. So here, just not in Switzerland, it's neutral. So it was the last big offense of the Nazis when they attacked, but they were not strong enough. So now we're checking out the shrine. It's all very majestic, from the floor to the roof. Very beautiful. It's the angels on the top. And here more information. And you can regard people already from today, from the Good Friday. Today, Good Friday. And I think most of them here are Americans, as you can see already. Here are only German visitors. Here also they see where they're from. Japan. Here also German visitors. Interesting. So right now we're in the old city of Luxembourg, which is called Echternach. So let's have a look what we can find here in the old town. We're right now here at this old church with a beautiful statue. We have a very nice big head. Think about, here in front of the church, we talk about the festival and about the history. Very interesting, beautiful. So here we have a beautiful fountain on the old market plaza. So the national dish of Luxembourg is called Jut mat Gradebohnen. Yeah, and it's like beans with meat. I'm not sure if they have it here. So in English it is a Jew with garden beans. A jute. Very interesting. Many tourists as well. Very interesting entrance of the garage they have here. Beautiful. So that's it already. So now we're heading to the castle in, I think it's called Vianden. So the last stop on our Luxembourg journey is this beautiful village of name Vianden. And over there you can see the castle, which is basically the main attraction. And that's what we're going to visit right now. Sehr schön already. It's very beautiful old streets here in the city. We're going up to the castle. Oh, very beautiful this castle. A lot of it is under construction right now, as you can see here. But still, the main view, it's gorgeous. One of the prettiest castles of entire Luxembourg. So we're going to have a little walk around the castle, since the entrance would be 20 euro for both. It's quite steep. So we're gonna have a little walk around to see the beautiful village down here and the nature which is surrounding this castle. So here's also a very beautiful little tower opposite the castle. The village. EU and also Ukraine in support. So that's it from Luxembourg. There's not much to see, but there is something to see, and it's still worth a visit. From one of the smallest nations of Europe, I think the 6th smallest. And we really enjoyed our time. And yes, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.